Hello everyone, welcome to Energy First Golf. Today in this video we're going to talk about why do you hook it or why do you pull the ball to the left. Now obviously if you're lefty, it's the opposite. You hook to the right. Alright? So I know, guess what? Once the first thing I'm going to do once they have lift the band, shelter in place, I'm going to go get a haircut. I mean I can't stand having long hair. My hair is out of control right now. Alright, so let's get back to the business. Why do you hook it? Um, there's a lot of reason why you hook it. So I'm gonna list all the reason why you hook it. You have a strong right hand grip. The strong right hand grip is gonna make you hook it. And if you try to purposely keep it inside out, it's gonna hook it. And if you have a flat inside takeaway, means a inside path, your lead arm is below your shoulders, means you're flat on top of your swing, and you're also gonna hook it. Now, obviously, a lot of times if you're flat on top of your swing, chance are you will still go outside in, so you might slice. But a lot of you, if you have that tendency where you go inside here and inside here, you will definitely hook it. That's what I call the inside path. Okay, so let me demonstrate what all of those movement means. All right. So first thing we're going to talk about is the strong right hand grip. Now, also remember when you learn golf, if you think about it, most beginners you tend to slice. Most beginners you tend to have the ball going to the right. And if you have done golf for a while, you have make all the manipulations and control with your hands. And you talked about letting the club turn over, which is what we call the release. But if you're doing it manually with your hands, chances are you're just hitting through the ball, then you hook it. So beginner, the ball is going to go right. And then if you've been playing golf for a while, your ball is going to go left. And then you try very hard to try to make the ball go straight. But the truth is, a lot of amateurs, you either play a shot where you go right to, you know, left hook ball, or you tend to play sort of a fade shot. But a lot of times, most amateurs, you don't really know what and when the opposite direction is going to happen. Is because a lot of times when you are hitting the ball, meaning a lot of manipulations and a lot of the controls that's coming from your arms, chance are on the downswing, you always have this early extension of the body, which is what we talked about, that you're not able to maintain spine angle. Okay, and the truth is, a hitting movement is always going to give you something that's unpredictable. You're either going to slice or fade to the right, or you're either going to hook it or draw to the left. Meaning, that's exactly what we talked about, is that we're not talking about consistency. Consistency is just the term that most people use. I want to be more consistent. No. What you want to do is when you learn something, you want to be able to know what is the correct control. Okay? So that's what Energy First, Impact Later is all about. It's about correct control. And by the way, again, we have our own gloves. I didn't wear my gloves, but we have our own gloves and we have our own belt. Check out our Shopify link below, and check out our website. All right. So I'm gonna go through some of the stuff that we talked about: the strong hand, the inside path. So, for example, right now, if I grip the club very strong with my right hand, looks like this, which is called the under grip. If I get to the top and on the downswing, again, most amateurs, you guys have what I call the one-piece downswing. You move everything together, and then this hand, you can see this hand will tend to flip the club over, but because you're using your trail arm, which is your right arm, you tend to get the club to an inside path. When you get the club on the inside path with a flip of your right hand, you're going to hook it. Okay, that's one scenario. And second scenario is that what we talked about, how sometimes a lot of amateurs, you tend to take the club inside and you keep it very flat here, and then you're probably working on this term called the drop in the slot. You drop it down right here like this. But the problem with that idea is that that's a two-dimensional movement because you're dropping your arms. Because we already know this downward movement, quote unquote downward movement, it really has to do with your body, upper body rotation, not because you feel like this is a slot where you drop it into it. So if you are dropping into the slot, chances are, once you drop it into the slot, there's no more room here because you don't have a correct energy. Means if you don't move your body up, you absolutely will hit the ground. So once you drop in the slot like this, and then the next movement, you're definitely going to move up. So then you have a inside path, inside, and then you will also hook it. Okay. Now there's another way where you hook it. Is what I call the covering, meaning on the downswing, you maybe try to work on what I call the torso rotation, but a lot of times you're rotating your body, you're kind of throwing your body this way, and your head is moving laterally to the left. So that's causing the club going a little bit outside in, all right? But your body is still rotating, but you're not rotating in a way where you're creating a flexion and compressional movement, but your covering means your upper torso is kind of throwing this way. Okay, so that will also make you hook the ball. I call the covering. So a lot of times your head is going to move that way. Now, obviously, if you hold on to the face, hold on to the club, chances are that movement is also going to make you slice the ball or fade the ball. Okay, so there's a lot of what I call the reason why we energy first means if you recognize the energy with your upper body above your rib cage, all the muscular movement, it's not about adding more power. It's about releasing. Okay, we talked about energy production, creation, energy absorption, and energy release. But a lot of amateurs, I know you have a feeling of a power that's coming from your chest and your shoulders and your arms. And if you're doing that, we call the manipulation, meaning you either keep it inside or throw it out there, or on the backswing, you tend to get it too flat, right? And then we talked about the strong right hand grip. So that's also going to make you hook, okay? And then now remember, all of the movement that you're doing with your upper body, where your upper body is creating power and energy, then you're no longer using your lower body to create a center movement. So if you don't create center movement here, that means you're not going to able to what? Maintain spine angle. So if you're not maintaining spine angle, chances are you have an early extension. Again, we talked about if you have an early extension, there's no way you have any type of consistency, which you guys always talked about consistency. So if you don't have any type of consistency, there's no way you're going to have any type of control. Okay? And that's what makes golf so difficult is that you got to have a correct energy and allow the body parts above your rib cage. We talked about this is as a swing board and the arms are releasing, right? And now there's a terminology is like, hey, arm speed. Arm speed means you're using the muscles in your arms to create a rotational movement, which is creating speed. The idea is if you see my hands, if I'm doing this, that's considered arm speed and I'm using the muscles doing a movement. And if I'm doing this, that's a two-dimensional movement. See, this movement will not work with golf. Again, if you obviously when you chip, if you do your hands like this, you might be getting away from it. But the idea is that we're not dealing with consistency. We are dealing with the correct control. So I forget one thing. A lot of times, amateurs, you have tendency aim the target. Basically, you have tendency aim to the right of the target, and a lot of times that will also make you double cross. So double cross means you go outside in. So either hook it or slice, and that's something to be mindful of it. You will have tendency aim your shoulder right of your target. Now, obviously, lefty will be the opposite. All right. All right. So right now I have a 6 iron. So basically, again, I'm just trying to do some movement that shows you that you're hooking the ball. So here's the strong right hand. Okay. And the truth is, the strong right hand, it would definitely make the ball go left. Okay. So as you can see, the ball's hooking to the left. Okay. So and then a lot of times if you hold on to it, you use your power from here. Then if you push it, then the ball is going to go to the right. Okay. So that was a strong right hand. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an inside, try to keep it here. And the truth is, sometimes I do that. I feel I'm hurting my body because a lot of times my body is rotating. I'm not moving away. So if I do inside, it's actually a little damaging to my body. But I'll do it. Okay. So right now I'm going to go inside path and inside path. Okay. Without moving my body up. Well, you know what? I'm going to move my body up just so I don't feel hurt. So you can see that ball is also hooking. Okay. And the truth is, if I stay down on it, meaning if I maintain spine angle like this, usually if I do that, that means I'm trying to swing a low fade. Okay. But you can see from a low fade to a hook. Okay. So that was a hook. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I call the covering. Okay. My body's covering. So I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to turn, and then my body is going to cover. Okay, so my body is going to cover. So you can see the ball is also hooking. And this one is actually pulling it to the left. All right. But as you can see right now I'm going to do one where I do everything correct. I'm going to do it very slowly. So here's the target. So the ball should go straight that way. Okay. So I'm going to release properly, and you guys will see the difference. See how straight that ball is. Okay, so that was actually more of a swing and release movement, but everything else you see earlier is definitely a lot of early extension, a lot of arms coming this way. Now remember, with all those movements, if you're holding on the face, they will all become sort of a slice to the right. So I'm going to do one right now where I'm going to use strong right hand, but I'm going to hold the face, as you can see, and where the ball is going to go. So right there, the ball is pushing to the right. All right. We'll probably have to do one more episode one day when we use a tracker. But right now, in the special situation, we're not able to do it. But we'll definitely do that with a lot of tracking device. All right. So hopefully all of those information demonstrates why you hook it. The idea is, again, like I said, with Energy First Golf, Energy First Impact Later, we're not dealing with consistency. We want our viewers, our students, to really understand how to control. What is the correct control? Not using the arm to hit the ball, not manipulate with your arms. That's not playing golf. Alright, so thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel by clicking on this button, and we'll have 2 recommended videos. So I will see you next time.